BC on a Tuesday night. It's the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Our venue, Verizon Center. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, and Al Koken with you as your announced team. Second and final regular season meeting between the Washington Capitals and the visiting Edmonton Oilers. Craig Laughlin, who's in the nets tonight?
Well, for the Oilers, Joe B, it's Victor Foss. He gets the nod. He snapped a 9-game losing streak with his win against the Panthers in the last game they played. He has 3 wins in 15 games. His backup is Ben Scrivens. For the Caps, yeah, he's ready. He's rejuvenated. He had the night off last game in Dallas. Ray Holtby trying to add on to his 22 wins on the season. His last 30 games, Joe B, he's been brilliant, picking up points in 24 of them.
Samurai stopper there, ready to roll in this one. The on-ice officials, referees are Justin St. Pierre and Dan O'Rourke. The linesmen are Scott Cherry and David Brisebois. Holtby will pepper it ahead to the former Oiler there, Jason Chimera. Getting a start with Tom Wilson and Jay Beagle. Nicky Nikitin gets run to the ditch right off the bat. An awkward tumble behind the cage. Klinkhammer was dropped by the hit of Carl Alter as the Caps rewind through center. Chimera winds and fires. That's deflected by Fane, and it's off the rink for a whistle. 30 seconds in.
I like the start so far. A couple of body contacts already for the guys in red.
Line biscuit for Edmonton. And defense pairings. Andrew Ferrens is out there now with the biscuit for Edmonton. To Jordan Eberle. Strides in the offensive zone, pulls the trigger, had that blocked by Brooks Orpik, who continues to be among the top 5 in the league in that category. Towards point position, Joel Ward will take it on the run for Washington, plop it into the corner. Ward, one hands to Brooks Light. Erased there by Jeff Petrie, a 27-year-old blue liner for these Oilers. Orpik towards the cage, deflected wide of Foss. Taylor Hall is using the dasher to get it clear. It'll come the length of the ice. No icing this time, allowing both head coaches a chance to change up.
And Joe B, that should be a good matchup tonight. Hall, Nugent Hopkins, Eberle versus the Capitals' so-called checking line with Eric Fair, Brooks Light, and Joel Ward. That's a line that gets about 30 to 40% of their offense. All those guys, 10-plus goals. If they can shut that trio down, there's a great opportunity for this Caps team to get a win tonight.
Burakovsky leaves it in the corner. Great pass from Backstrom, and as Ovechkin nice to the front, he's brought down. Power play coming here for Washington. Holtby to the bench. Extra attacker on for the guys in red. Ovechkin fires and scores! A long brought down. Power play coming here for Washington. Holtby to the bench. Extra attacker on down. Power play coming here for Washington. Pass from Backstrom, and as Ovechkin nice to get a brought down. Power play coming here for Washington. Holtby to the bench. Extra attacker on for the guys in red. Ovechkin fires and scores!
Caps team to get a win tonight.
Burakovsky leaves it in the corner. Great pass from...
Great opportunity for this Caps team to get a win tonight.
Burakovsky leaves it in the corner. Great pass from back.
6 months. Right next to him. And he's trying to see Foss. The time eating
that has passed.
Continue to games and shoot that.
So I'm trying to make one more and show... My Capitals have the advantage game for Washington.
His arm is time he gets. So he
struggled mightily throughout the season, but especially so on the road. Ending a lengthy losing skid with their most recent win in Florida as the Capitals make a break for it through center. Johansson, nice pass. Right in, Kuznetsov tried to make one more, and Schultz was there defensively for the Oilers.
Susie's got to shoot that puck, Joe. He's in prime real estate to get that shot away. You've got to continue to pepper Foss here in this game, especially early on. Take note, the last couple of games, the Caps have had slow starts. They didn't strike first. They're so much better when they get the first goal, and they've done it here early in the first.
They've tallied the opening strike locker in 17 of the last 22 outings. Alex Ovechkin staking into the lead tonight in front of the locals in D.C. Eberle goes to the wall, carried there by Orpik, as John Carlson has some room to clear. Carlson for the Caps. Skitters one through center. There's Brooks Light. On a nice send-in for Fair. Fair's pass is blocked by Ferrens. End-to-end, Taylor Hall will wind it up. Hall on through Eberle. He'll chip it in. More line changes to come for this Edmonton team. Carlson carefully out of his own zone with an assist from Orpik, who will send it hard around. Along the boards, kick back, where Beagle operates. In tight quarters with Klefbom, who knocked him down. Swedish-born blue liner facing the Caps for the first time in his career. Chimera digging for it along the boards. Klinkhammer will saucer it back into the Washington zone, where Hillen gets a little handoff from Holtby. Chimera on the pass for Beagle, and then further still. Green working wide. Kick saved by Fox. Point drive Hillen. A pad save for Victor Fox.
He's quick. I mean, his pads are very quick down low. The one that's got to him is the high heat. So look for that to be a trend in this game. More shots up above 2 or 3 feet could work well against Victor.
Fane on the headman. Working back to center on the snapshot was Yakupov. He didn't get it through. Niskanen was there defensively as the Oilers will have to retreat. From the cage, you see Fox play it back to neutral. Niskanen and Alsner collaborating. Fane off the stick league, and then Edmonton. Kuznets
Get him, who would
gliding into the zone, fires, and that's gloved by Victor Foss. Heel hand. Boys
start a couple of bumpers
by Morgan Franklin. Shot left to get it right before the All-Star break. That's Craig's Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consultant.
And let me tell you, Joby, I did this today, earlier today. It's not because Ovechkin just
Liar, pants on fire.
Superstar is what the Capitals captain and the boys in red need tonight. They've got it. It started with a couple of bumps early on, a good net drive, a 6-on-5 goal. Now they're out. They feel comfortable. Capitals captain and the boys in red need tonight. They've got it. It started with a couple of bumps early on, a good net drive, a 6-on-5 goal. Now they're out. They feel comfortable and in good shape here against the Oilers.
Washington team sitting in a tie for third place in the Metropolitan Division as this day began with the New York Rangers. It's Edmonton at 11, 26 and 9, 7th in the rugged Pacific Division. Having already made a coaching change this season, Todd Nelson in for Aiken. Lander closes to his forehand, swoops behind the goal, and then Anton Lander ran out of real estate.
Yeah, just too much stick handling and stick work rather than just shooting the puck. The Capitals turned it over right in front of Holtby. Arguably the best chance so far here in the first on a turnover from the Caps.
We're approaching the 6-minute mark. Yevgeny Kuznetsov will rev it up for Washington. A 1-0 Caps advantage. Alex Ovechkin in the first 2 minutes of the game. Kuznetsov bid is blocked by Oscar Klefbom. Chance for us to send you ringside. Here's Al Koken.
Joe, thanks very much. As you mentioned, we've got the All-Star game coming up, so we asked our viewers to join the conversation tonight on Twitter and answer the following. How would you change All-Star Weekend, or do you think it's fine the way it is? Get your responses in. Hashtag Capitals Talk. We'll hear from you throughout the game. Guys, I don't know how to do it, but I would love to figure out a way to see if Al Iafredi can still crank it up over 100 miles an hour at that slap shot. Get some alumni involved.
That's a good idea. Alumni game, maybe. That would be cool.
Hashtag Capitals Talk to weigh in from your vantage point.
I think it's going to be a battle, and Shea Weber's probably got that one sewn up if he gets to shoot in that hardest shot competition.
Boyd Gordon on the hop for Edmonton. His pass to the wing that was flexed away. A couple of ex-Capitals on that line, Boyd Gordon and Matt Hendricks. Schultz leaves to a turning Eberle, winding back up through center. Nugent Hopkins' feed for Hall. Brister goes wide of Holtby. Schultz towards the cage. Knocked away there by Eric Fair first. Nikitin down low for Hall. Help comes from Eberle. There's Nugent Hopkins as they work that triangle passing play. It was all short-circuited as the Caps clear with John Carlson doing the honors.
Real good swarm defense there by the Caps. Not letting that top trio, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, and Hall, can really dangle. They love to cycle. They're great skaters. You got to nullify them. You got to get in their grill. And they did that on that shift. Really no opportunity to get a shot on Holtby.
Benoit Pouliot starts the break for Edmonton. It's Pouliot who's had the best goal-scoring month in January for the team in white.
Yeah, he's really been good. 16 goals is his highest. Already has 10. 7 goals his last 8. You know, this is a guy that's bounced around. Seems to have found a home here in Edmonton.
Oilers stumbling on their clearing attempt. Yakupov posted up at center. Right there with him was Carl Alsner for Washington. 5-on-5 play continues. Neither team has had a power play just yet. As Burakovsky goes wide to the trailer Ovechkin. Snapshot, glove save, Victor Foss. 7 minutes and 46 seconds in. Alex Ovechkin now with goals in 9 of his last 11 games. Right out of the tunnel, right onto the score sheet. Washington on top of Edmonton. Nothing lead over on CSN. Presented by Toyota Locker. 2 men with a red light habit.
Yeah, Benoit Pouliot for the Edmonton Oilers. We just commented on him. 6 goals in his last 5 games. Really fits in nicely with Derek Roy and Yakupov. That's a pretty good-looking trio. For Alex Ovechkin, hot, hot, hot. 10 goals in his last 11 games. Another 25-goal campaign for the Grade 8 here in Washington.
Just shy of the 8-minute mark now as the puck is off the rink.
That coaching 300 games. So he's going to get an opportunity here to flex his muscle behind the bench here with a very young team, Joby, and that's the big thing. He's got to cultivate the winning attitude, the culture, all the type of things that we hear around the National Hockey League.
Oklahoma City Barons, the top American Hockey League affiliate of these Edmonton Oilers. And before the night is through, I know that Al Koken will weigh in with more on Nelson. From back in his playing days and the observations of his former coach, who is now the bench boss here in Washington. Brouwer working wide. Troy Brouwer bracketed along the boards. Johansson there to help out. Petrie gives him a shove. Washington leads by 1. Alex Ovechkin is on quite the roll. Caps captain has 26 tallies now. He scored at the 148 mark of play. It was during a delayed penalty call against Edmonton. Hillen looks up and creates for Green, who comes wing to wing for Joel Ward. Ward deadens the puck for Fair. The return for Ward that was intercepted, and Eberle will fidget loose. Jordan Eberle back through center. Carlson there with a quick step up. Lots of conversation earlier today with the Capitals defenseman locker, and they were all referring to Eberle as extremely quick, very skilled around the net.
Yeah, he should score more, though, Joe. I mean, that's been the problem with Edmonton. They don't score a lot of goals. He has just 12, and his career high is like 28. He needs to score more.
Folks, Capitals Clubhouse, all-inclusive pass. They are moving fast. Reward yourself, friends, colleagues. It's a night of first-class fun. It starts an hour before the puck drops. $79 per ticket per game. Visit WashingtonCaps.com.
For Jordan Eberle, just a little mistake there, Joe. He's averaged 28, as high as 34. The Caps so far, 5 shots, 3 hits, 2 scoring chances, a couple of blocked shots. Edmonton put zeros around everything. They haven't done anything here in the first 10 minutes against the Caps.
Eberle had 34 goals in 2011-12. He had 28 a season ago. This Edmonton team last year, 29 wins, 67 points. They did not qualify for the postseason. They were once again dead last in the Pacific. Yakupov for Pouliot. Pouliot for Roy to the front. Active goalie stick there for Braden Holtby. And it triggers a break for Alex Ovechkin 2-on-2. Ovechkin crossing over. Skating well. Turns the cooker. Ovechkin double teamed along the boards and forced back to center. Yakupov, a fellow Russian. I repeat the conversation I had with him earlier in the season. Nail Yakupov. He says, very good. But call me Nail Yakupov. Okay.
I'm glad about that, by the way.
Whatever you want. Say it the wrong way. I'll do that. Sounds so much better than other way. 1-0 Caps. Come on back with us.
Caps with a 1-0 lead. Todd Reardon, the first meeting you knew how fast Hall, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins are. What's the defensive plan against them tonight?
Yeah, we got to try to gap up early, take away some time and space from them because they can really skate that group over there. It's not even just the top line, but third and fourth lines have a lot of speed as well. So that'll be a key for us is having a good gap tonight.
All right, Todd Reardon, we appreciate that with a Legal Seafood's bite of the night.
Al, it was Matt Niskanen earlier today who was saying, you know what, the Oilers, at least at the beginning of the season, under Dallas Eakins, they remind them a lot of what Chicago likes to do, the way they like to get back, get flow, and use their speed. We'll see how Washington will handle that. tonight.
That hasn't worked so well for them, has it?
No.
When you look at their numbers, they're just so darn young. They need to fill some holes in the back line to make them a big-time team.
3-on-2 here. Green closing, and it just dribbles wide of the cage.
And that was a good backside pressure there. A little bit of a hook of the stick as Greeny went to shoot that puck. Therefore, no mustard on it, and really not a quality chance as it just goes wide of the blocker.
Two teams still going 5-on-5. Hammer was decked there by Tom Wilson, and Green will circle back. Uncontested out of his own zone. Now pressured by Hall with help from Hillen. On the long stretch that was intended for Kuznetsov, snared by Eberle. Hall steps in, fans on it. Took his eyes off it right on the release. There's a whistle here. The trail official has a penalty call. It's going to be interference.
And there you see their transition and their speed, and it's going to be Mike Green heading off. So the Edmonton Oilers get to go to a power play to try to get a shot on net here. There's Barry Trotz behind the bench, pacing a little bit, getting his penalty killers ready. Mike Green coming back. There's the speed of Hall, Eberle, and Nugent Hopkins, as Coach was just describing to Al Koken, Coach Reardon, and here it is in transition. A misfire, but watch Green come across right there in the center of the screen. Flips their player, Eberle, over top of his partner, Jack Hillen, and that's the minor penalty.
Special teams numbers at the bottom of the screen for these two sides. As Schultz is a man to watch, 19 in white at the point position. A rover who loves to cheat down low. Hall looking for that high tip play. Nugent Hopkins sent it wide. Eberle for Nugent Hopkins. They play catch. Point position for Schultz. Switch it up for Hall. Power play Edmonton on the road, just 10%. To the doorstep there, came right on through, looking for Boyd Gordon on a tip-in try. Gordon is the screener in front. Orpik has the puck for Washington. Keeps it moving around the dasher. Brouwer will dig in. Failed to clear. Oilers still on the attack.
And now the Cap broke his stick to Joe B. right in the high slot.
Snapshot coming from Hall goes wide. Backstrom is the man without the hockey stick. Nugent Hopkins doubled along the wall. Eberle swiveled for Schultz. Hall has room, fires wide of a screened Holtby. Once again, it was Boyd Gordon right there at the top of the paint.
And close to a minute of zone time. Pretty good puck pressure by Edmonton, but they couldn't muster a shot against Braden Holtby. Talk about gaps. You talked about them all over the ice. Even on the penalty kill, those pressure points are critical.
Green serves another 45 seconds as Roy maneuvers in. Nice pass. Holtby shuts the door there, and a snapshot coming from the wing in Yakupov. As it's raked on down by Beagle. Foss will tee it up for the turning Petrie, the former Michigan State Spartan All-American. Stretching his legs through center. Petrie's pass for Anton Lander gets away. Niskanen comes over to Corral. Niskanen able to clear. Shots on goal of 5-1 for Washington to this point. The first shot of the game for the Caps. Denting the twine from Alex Ovechkin. Chimera to the goal mouth, deflected. Ward's in hot pursuit. Yakupov has it. And there's another penalty call coming here. This time it's against Edmonton.
And that's a hard-working penalty draw by Joel Ward. Chimera and Ward buzzing around, heavy up-ice pressure, and sends Petrie to the box. And it's all the hustle of that guy. Joel Ward, great hustle, getting to the puck. He's trying to get there. He's interfered with right here. Look at the little cross-check. Watch Petrie come in. There's a moving pick. It's an easy call. Joel Ward draws the penalty because of his good work down low. Yakupov taken off with the puck. Petrie to the box.
That's Craig Laughlin. I'm Joe Beninati. Al Koken is our ringside reporter. It's the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet tonight. Second of two regular season meetings between these two sides. Washington to the power play right now, ranked fourth in the league. Edmonton, a victor over Washington at Rexall Place back in October. A 3-2 final on that night as the Caps are in offside. In the league, a 3-2 final on that night as the Caps are in offside.
Capitals power play 7 PPGs in their last 9 games, close to 30%, the type of numbers you'd expect from this high-octane power play. Nick Backstrom, of course, the conductor. Brouwer, one of the options on their power play that really throws it around.
We just saw Washington perform admirably on the penalty kill. It's been that special teams unit, especially at home. While the Caps have won 7 straight in the D.C. area, they've killed better than 92% during that winning role. Green, who has been an assist demon this month, has a helper tonight, in fact. out there to help pilot this power play. Johansson works into the offensive end. Man advantage, another 118. Marcus Johansson back to point position. Green this way. Ovechkin score. Back to point position. Green this way. Ovechkin score.
Petrie in the box all of 47 seconds, and I said the Capitals throw the pill around. Well, Nelson's just going to look on in awe the way they move the puck around their Oiler penalty killers, and this penalty killing unit's been pretty darn good. It's the fake that freezes the defenseman and Foss. Foss isn't even close to getting this, Joe. Look at him freeze on the fake, and that opens up the whole side for Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin, 3 shots, 2 goals, and his club's up 2-0 here in the first. And take a look at the Jeep net cam as his slap shot goes right through it, shatters the lens. And our Jeep net cam, that's why it's blurry there, fans. Alex Ovechkin, his second goal of the night.
Excuse me, Alex, we'll be sending you an invoice. It's a bill for you.
And the linesman has to get into the crease to clear up the broken lens of our net cam.
Thanks.
Hit it about 100 miles an hour. Referee making sure he clears that up. All the broken pieces of glass here in the first period.
Another 2-goal game, another multi-goal game for Ovechkin. That's his 7th this season, 92nd in his career. A 2-0 advantage for Washington. This evening's Cold Hard Fact. It's brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light. Mark these guys down for at least 25 per year.
3 guys have done it 10 times in Caps history. Alex, Bondra, Gartz. Ridley did it 6. Carpenter Christian, Alexander Semin did it 5 apiece. Do we know his address? Where do we send that? Where do we send the invoice? Yeah,
I'll hand it to him directly afterwards.
We can send it to Kettler.
I think he can afford it.
Yeah, he'll be 5.
Shrapnel being picked up. 2-0 Washington advantage. Alex Ovechkin, we were able to sit him down prior to tonight's action, and he reminded all of us just how important this game is.
We put us a break very good, especially we play at home in front of our house fans, and we have to win and get 2 points, because I think the last 2 games we at least deserved a couple points, but we didn't, so we have to bounce back.
Those last 2 games to which Alex was referring, a loss in Nashville, a loss in Dallas over the weekend, as Ovechkin's goal totals continued to climb, and he's now 3rd best in the NHL in that department.
Only Rick Nash in New York and Tyler Seguin, who we saw the other night, they're the only guys ahead of him now. He's got 28, those 2 guys. Alex sits at 27. Stamkos 26. The top 4 sharpshooters in the NHL.
So, after some cleanup, Ovechkin shattering our net cam, we're back to play. 6 minutes remaining in the opening frame. Ovechkin 2 and the Oilers nothing. Chimera's wrister dips wide of Victor Foss. Foss has had little chance on either of those Ovechkin BBs tonight. It's one of those kind, Brian.
But he's got Marcus Johansson, and I talked with see if he can get us started up with Brian McClellan.
Chuck Gormley keeping us informed on those back channel conversations. As Holtby makes a kick-out save. You can find Chuck's work on csnwashington.com. Welcome aboard to Burke and Herbert Bank, sponsoring Chuck's segments here at home. Yakupov for the Oilers. Slams on the brakes and plays it down low for Roy. Covered up there by Nicholas Backstrom. Eric Roy, former high scorer in Western New York with the Sabres. Yakupov to the front, backhand. There's Roy to finish for the Oilers.
He's always put up good numbers in his career against the Caps. 30 games played coming into this game tonight. He had 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points.
Roy, covered up there by Nicholas Backstrom. Eric Roy, former high scorer in Western New York with the Sabres. Yakupov to the front, backhand. There's Roy to finish for the Oilers.
He's always put up good numbers in his career against the Caps. 30 games played coming into this game tonight. He had 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points, so just about money at getting a point per game. The Oilers strike back, and now they're feeling a little better. Caps had a 2-0 lead. They cut it to 2-1. Good forecheck by the top line. Notice getting in there is Taylor Hall. They turn it over. The shot comes, and there's the redirect in front of the net by Derek Roy, who puts it in. Nice play by Yakupov, just getting the puck through. Derek Roy, nifty hands in the backhand. He's on the board, giving them some life.
Roy, who did not play in the first meeting.
Backhand, he's on the board, giving them some life.
Roy, who did not play in the first meeting between these two, tallies this year prior to tonight against the Islanders and the Blackhawks. He can add the Capitals to that list.
Yeah, he's done well since arriving in Edmonton. This is his 11th game. He's got 8 points. 4th goal of the season. Closing in on 2.
The goalies.
All right.
My gosh, 15 minutes of the game. You're dumping on the goalie.
I'm not dumping. I made the point. It's a statistic.
Yes, it is. Just sticking up for the guys in all the deals.
I know.
That's all I'm trying to do.
I know. You're part of that union.
They dig for it along the dasher as Hall is muzzled by Orpik. 4:25 separating us from Lattice's intermission live. It's 2-1 for the guys in red as Light steers this one back to center. That's Nicky Nikitin, a 28-year-old Russian, finding Everly on the advance. Hooks off, looking for Matt Fraser there, former Dallas Star property. This comes hard around. Yevgeny Kuznetsov, Capital first-round draft pick of a few years ago, able to clear. Johansson sprinting after this one. Beaten to the puck by the defender, Fane, former PC Friar. Green, below the goal line for Brouwer. His pass intended for Kuznetsov was off the toe of his stick. Back through center comes Purcell. On the interchange with Fraser. A routine stick save there for Holtby. As Ferentz clears it south of the goal line. Green jumps on it quickly and plays back to center. Shots on goal are still 6-3 for Washington. 3.5 to go in the first. Kuznetsov 1 against 3. Wisely plays it in deep. 1-1. Wilson is there to chop at the feet of Ferentz. Chimera not able to find it just yet. Stop attempt from Wilson didn't get through. Alsner with a good keep in. Chimera to the goal mouth drag tipped wide by Wilson. Oilers looking to clear. Purcell does that. Softly enough to avoid the icing.
Man, nice touch there by Purcell. You have to be strong on the wall. That's where a lot of goals come from if you don't clear the puck. Pretty good play by Purcell under pressure.
Even in full strength 5-on-5. Boyd Gordon bumped into there by Matt Niskanen. Beagle helping out. Playing it on the wing for Chimera. Back for Beagle, and he'll sprinkle it into the corner. Klefbom is there. Oscar Klefbom, a 21-year-old Swede. Selected in the 2011 draft. Wilson uncorks this one. Blocked by Schultz. Deflection score! Uncorks this. Sprinkle it into the corner. Klefbom is there. Oscar Klefbom, a 21-year-old Swede. Klefbom is there. Oscar Klefbom, a 21-year-old Swede. Selected in the
his stick and the cap. Schultz not got his 7th goal
in the thing. Offense.
To the puck. Beagle gets position. Schultz not cued there to take Beagle. He goes to the puck. Beagle gets positioning. He's got his 7th goal of the season.
5 of those 7, Locker, have come early in games. 5 of the 7 in the first period. 3-1. Washington exploding offensively against Edmonton, fueled by this man, Alex Ovechkin, who already has a pair tonight. Roy, covered up quickly by his opposite number 8. It's Fane who will work down the boards. You look down the dasher as the Caps will make a break for it. Burakovsky out wide. Ovechkin settled. 80 seconds in this opening period. The Caps back on top by 2. Delicate little send in for Everly. Shut down by Holtby.
That's a real good save. A real good play by the Edmonton Oilers, making sure they hustle to get onside. That springs them in transition. Far side of the ice, they make sure they're onside. Petrie, a nice little dish between the legs of Orpik, and he finds Everly. And Everly in full flight. You just see the fleet-footed Everly. When these guys skate There's nothing like it, and he really wheeled there to get a good shot away.
Jordan Eberle, just 24 years of age. Ferenc Spires, that was deadened. Eberle back in the day in 2010, the major junior player of the year.
Well, TSN named him the best world junior player ever in Canada history. That's quite the accomplishment.
There have been some pretty good ones, don't you think?
Yeah, there has.
Orpik for Carlson, who picked up the primary assist on the last strike from Beagle. 48 seconds left in this first period. 3-1 for the Capitals. Eric Fair moseys through center, and he'll dump it in. Foss barking out the instructions for Petrie. Lays it on around for Fraser, who returns it right back to the defender. Eberle scanning. Floats the puck back through neutral. It gets away from Fraser. Green hooks it on. Caps in the middle of a change. This is Marcus Johansson off the shins of Schultz. Brouwer on the crisscross, but bomber. Diffuse that. 14 seconds to go in the first. Johansson, nice pass. Kuznetsov fires. It's knocked away by Foss. Kuznetsov gets to the rebound. The high cycle play doesn't work out. That should just about do it for the first, as we are complete with 20 minutes done in D.C.
A very good period for the hometown boys. Alex with a couple of goals. Beagle a nice deflection. They came out strong. They knew they wanted to get this win tonight after losing 2 in a row on the road this past weekend. The Caps in real good shape against the Oilers.
Lattice's Intermission Live is coming up on the net. Now Koken is here. He'll have a guest with him shortly. Highlights and stats from up here in the booth. We'll put Locker to work on the telestrator as well. Caps and Oilers, 1 of 8 around the NHL this Tuesday night. 2 for Tuesday already for Alex Ovechkin. As we send you back to the studio, Rob Carlin and Alan May. Our Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey is being brought to you by your Washington area Honda dealers. For great standard features and affordable payment options, why settle for anything less than a Honda? Lattices, all systems grow. Toyota, check out the bold new 2015 Camry and visit buyatoyota.com for offers. Papa John's, if the Caps win and score 4 or more goals, get 50% off any online order tomorrow at participating Papa John's locations. And by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mvusa.com. Here in the nation's capital, where there's a very important address being given in the House chamber on Capitol Hill, we welcome you to NHL action on Comcast Sportsnet, about to start the second period of play with the Caps in front and Oiler fans afraid to reveal themselves. This trivia question presented by McDonald's sounds so easy. Who holds the Oilers' rookie record for goals in a season? I guarantee you it's not an easy answer.
I think he had some good finish.
Ooh, so if that was a hint, then my initial...
How do you know it was a hint?
My initial knee-jerk reaction then might be right. I could be wrong.
That was a pretty good hit, wasn't it?
Knee-jerk reaction, underline jerk usually for me. Away we go, second period. Taylor Hall in possession. Schultz cross rink for Klefbom. Began the season in Oklahoma City under Todd Nelson's direction. Now they both work together in the NHL ranks.
And I think you're going to be seeing more of those guys get an opportunity at the NHL level with this Edmonton Oilers team. They're going to give some guys some looks to see where they fit into their plans of the future.
You can experiment a little bit when you're...
Yes, you can.
11, 26, and 9, just 31 points, floundering in the Western Conference and the Pacific Division. The Oilers do have a victory over Washington, however. Beat the Caps at Rexall Place on October 22nd. It was a 3-2 decision. And Scrivens was in the cage that night, not Victor Foss. And Nicky Nikitin had a power play goal that turned out to be the game winner.
No, a lot of help behind the bench. There you see on the left, Keith Acton. Greg Ramsey on the right, a longtime veteran. The associate coach is actually Keith Acton, which is on the left there. I've been talking to him the last couple of days. Real good friend of mine. Played for Montreal. I had a chance to play with him on a line in Montreal. Was always a fleet-footed skater, and now has been a real good NHL coach.
Nicholas Backstrom is setting up for an offensive zone draw. Backstrom's next assist will be number 400 in his marvelous career. Digs in against his old friend Boyd Gordon, who's on top of the Edmonton faceoff department list at 55.9. Takes a ton of draws year after year. He wins that one. Klinkhammer, saucer to center. Ooh, Green was knocked down. Here's a break-in chance. Snapshot coming. A sizzler that goes wide of Braden Holtby. From the blue liner there, Mark Fane. Holtby back in the cage. Justin Peters will sit second to him tonight. Scrivens is backing up Foss for Edmonton. Green will reverse. Jack Hillen is next. Hillen has a birthday coming up. He'll turn 29 this week. Alex Ovechkin has a date with the All-Star festivities. Following this one tonight, he'll get set to show off in Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio over the weekend. Alsner, long wrister coming from Backstrom. No worries for Foss. Team Foligno against Team Taves.
That's going to be interesting. The fun part is when they start drafting players on Friday.
Johansson fires. That's armed down by Foss. And he'll cover up.
This 8, but
23rds claim this. Zone draw. Fraser. Cross rink for Ferentz. Veteran blue liner. Now in Edmonton. Began his career in the Pittsburgh Penguin organization as the puck leaves the playing surface. It's been a
New Edmonton 9. Doesn't get any easier. But then back time in Tampa Bay.
Todd, I know that's a talking point. Keeling Days in Portland, Maine was speaking glowingly about him earlier in the day. I know that's a talking point for Al Koken as this game progresses. It's the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. A 3-1 advantage if you're just tuning in with us. Ovechkin already with 2 goals on the board. Numbers 26 and 27. Ferentz fires. That hit the defender in front. Alsner came over to make that play. And Carl Alsner gets about 19 minutes worth of work from the coaching staff per game. Beagle on the run. Wilson fires. That was rejected by Ferentz. Beagle had the most recent tally for Washington. His 7th of the season, a single season best. Coming with a little less than 3 minutes to go in the opening frame. Orpik eyeing this breakout. John Carlson, further still. Chimera on for Beagle. Kicks it from skate to stick and fumbled as Petrie will clear. Hall with a terrific speed. He's a straight line guy who can really go.
Yeah, they're not the biggest up front, but those 3 in particular may be the fastest on their team.
Schultz will reverse. Intercepting was Eric Fair, who's had a fine month of January for Washington. Like drags it loose. Brooks Like was stick checked by Everly. Right into the cycle for Ward. On top, Carlson's drive. Just missed it by a whisker. Hall will chisel this one back to center. Taylor Hall busting it down the wing. To the glove of Holtby. And he'll squeeze. Game notes for you to consider tonight, Caps fans. Eric Fair has been lighting it up lately.
In January, you make a good point. 4+3 in the month of January. Now 10 points in his last 10 games overall. The Caps in their last 21 games, points in 18 of them. And really dominating goals for, goals against. The Edmonton Oilers have been outscored by 42 goals, playing at even strength when you take out the empty netters.
Face-off department, Edmonton has the advantage so far this evening here at Verizon Center. Backstrom being excused from the dot by the linesman Brisebois. Edmonton controls another one. Nikitin, a knuckleball shot that goes right to the glove of Holtby.
Yeah, not too difficult there. A little bit of a knuckle buck. Nikitin tries to unload that one. He's a big rig, 6'4", 217, former Columbus Blue Jacket and St. Louis Blue. 28 years old for Nikitin. Probably a guy that really fits into their future because of his size, skating ability. He's very good in his own zone.
Back in Sochi, he was a teammate of Alex Ovechkin for homestanding Russians during the Olympics. 7 other games going on tonight, a couple of them involving Metropolitan Division teams. We'll keep an eye on the out-of-town board. Snapshot coming from Alsner. Knuckles on its way. Last check, it was Philadelphia on top of Pittsburgh in the Keystone State rivalry. Luke Shen with a tally for the orange and black. Fane, former Devil. Oilers looking to clear through center. It's Pouliot, only as far as Alsner. His headman pass off the board skids away, but it's picked up on the run by Backstrom. Ovechkin closing, and Burakovsky didn't get a lot of wood on that. Ovechkin relays for Green. Green drifting wide, canceled out by Pouliot.
And Petrie, without a stick, he lost it at the blue line when it was cracked in half.
Hill into the front, deflected, volleyballed into the corner. That's where Nikitin has the puck for Edmonton. Yakupov failed to clear. Backstrom fidgets at the line. A backhand pass for Hillen. Bombs away, blocked by Roy. That broke Roy's stick. Along the dasher, snapped around the corner curve and threw Green back onto the Washington side of center.
No one wanted to give the defenseman a stick there. You had Petrie out there for a second, then you had Bain, who actually lost his stick at the blue line, and no one gives him a stick.
Green to the front, came right on through. Beagle was looking for help there from Wilson as Schultz spins it along the boards. Point position, Orpik to the front, bounding wide of the goal. 3-1 Caps, almost 6 minutes into the second period. No scoring in this frame. Point position, Orpik lunges to keep that in. Rister on the way, stopped down in front. Orpik will sprint to keep this in just the same. Chimera from zero angle had that one deflect about 15 rows into the seats. Tops playing up creek with this window of opportunity. A pair of tallies already.
7th.
For the Biscuit playing former Arizona. It's one-on-one through center for Klinkhammer. Former Arizona Coyote. Niskanen using the wall to get it along. This Edmonton team had lost 14 straight on the road prior to their win back on Saturday against Florida. Brouwer steps in, pulls the trigger. Fost makes that save and swats the rebound ahead. It was Victor Fost who picked up the win against the Panthers. Todd Nelson going back with him tonight. Capitals have already greeted him with 3 goals. Kuznetsov with the assist from Niskanen. He'll dump it in. Schultz speeds to the loose puck. Play it on around. Klefbom's outlet. Too far for Fraser. Orpik on time to Backstrom. He'll steer it in. 2 Swedes to the corner there. Klefbom keeps it moving. Ovechkin hops to the corner. Works to his backhand. Throws Snow against Anton Lander. Lost his footing. Burakovsky's wrister floats wide of the cage. Ovechkin's been skating extremely well from the jump tonight.
Yeah, moving his feet every opportunity in the zone, on the forecheck, on the back check. It's all about moving. When he's standing around, obviously, the big guy is not as effective. When he's moving his feet, there's no one better in the NHL.
Well, he was pretty pooped there at the end of the shift.
Oh, man.
Change.
Well, he was stopping and starting, too, and that just pounds your legs, and you simply don't have any energy left.
Backstrom in good shape defensively to play it around for Andre Burakovsky. Rolling off for Chimera with the fresh skating legs. He'll clear it in. Spain's going to outlast Chimera, then wipe out to the boards. That hurt. Almost 8 minutes deep in this second period. There's a penalty call coming here. The fans put up the protest after this infraction spotted by Dan O'Rourke. .7:51 the time of the penalty call. A bewildered Jason Chimera looking on. Penalty against the Oilers. Capitals have the lead by 2 over the visiting Oilers, and they have a power play locker. The tail result of this.
Yeah, sort of a cheapie there. Fane falls into the boards. He'll take a look right there. He puts his glove right on top of the puck and then throws it. That's sort of questionable. You usually get away with that. They called it real tight there, putting his hand over top of the puck.
Concealing the puck.
Yeah.
Backstrom's pass for Johansson. Man advantage for Washington, trying to add to its lead. Johansson on a stop. Lost the save. Rebound covered up long enough for the whip.
And it's a lumber on that shot. When you shoot there, Jeep netting out, step out, and off the pads, off the stick. That creates another good chance on the Capitals power play.
Power play stats are packaged by the UPS store as Johansson plays to the corner for Backstrom. Petrie quickly calls on him. Petrie digging along the boards with Boyd Gordon, didn't get it out. Green resurfacing for Washington. Mike Green to his backhand. Along the end boards, all the way to Johansson. Oilers putting pressure on the perimeter. Petrie on a takeback. Ferentz to Petrie, and Matt Hendricks should have room to clear. Former Capital gets the center line, snaps it right to Braden Holtby. He looks up for a lengthy feed to Brouwer. It bounced away from him.
We've seen that hook up before for Troy and Braden.
Specifically in Arizona last year for a power play goal. All the way down. Could be icing here against Washington, and it is.
And let's take a look at Braden's hate on a
season against the Red.
He will.
Just after he scored for O'Bara. You'll get one.
I know. I think he will too. I really believe he will.
Just ask Red O'Bara.
Yeah.
In the American Hockey League. Avalanche property scoring from his goal crease. Green walks in. Nikitin makes the strip. Threw it off of his own teammate, Purcell's neck practically, and it bounces back to center. Fane will be set loose in 12 seconds. It's 3-1 Washington as we near the midway mark of the second period. Kuznetsov, second wave of the power play. Forced back. Holtby will play catch with Carlson. Just one shot on the man advantage for the Capitals. Overall, they're out shooting Edmonton in the game, 13-10. John Carlson, Washington's ice time leader, the plus-minus leader. On for Joel Ward. He'll trickle it into the corner. Final game before the All-Star break for these two squads. Capitals will begin the, quote, second half, if you will, after the All-Star break, right in Columbus. Burakovsky, nice look. Ward's behind the D. Ward closing. Wipes out into the cage, knocks the net from his mooring.
Now that Foss had an opportunity to speed out and poke it. He doesn't. And then Foss makes a great save on Wardle.
No harm, no foul. 3-1 Caps. Come on back for more with the NHL on CSN.
Caps have the 3-1 lead over Edmonton. Lane Lambert, we see Alex Ovechkin now with 11 goals in 11 games. What stood out in your mind when you watch him work this month?
Well, I think he's obviously always shooting, and he's continued to keep that trend, but just work ethic and work ethic away from the puck. I think what you do away from the puck helps you when you get the puck, and that's what he's been doing.
All right, we appreciate Lane Lambert joining us. That's a League of Seafood's Bite of the Night, talking about the Grade 8 on a scoring run.
Not a bad run in that discussion. 9 of the last 11 games he's factored in. Like fires, backhand chance for Ward that was sent high. Capitals continuing to buzz in the offensive zone. 2 better than visiting Edmonton, a team which downed them in late October on home ice. Orpik and the Caps looking to make amends for that. Looking after win potentially number 25 on the season. They came into tonight's action with 56 points. Deadlock with the Rangers in 3rd in the Metropolitan Division. Fair comes cross ring for Carlson. Brister looking for the tip-in try, and the Oilers had that surrounded. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will clear. Spinning back through center, Nugent-Hopkins sends in Eberle. The way for Hall, deflected aside. Schultz loves to get up into the flow. And with this line, you could. Schultz on the regroup with Klefbom. Schultz plays it ahead for Hall. His diagonal pass was answered by Nicholas Backstrom.
Yeah, the Capitals taking over the center part of the ice here against the Oilers. They want to keep them outside the dots, and they've done that for this period and a half so far at Verizon.
Roy ridden out there by Carlson. Petrie holding the line for the Oilers. As Carlson kicks it ahead, Burakovsky gets it in gear for Washington. Leaves it to the trailer, Backstrom. Saucer pass, Alsner fires, glove save by Foss.
He gobbles that up with his big catching glove, long-range drive in front of the net. Alex Ovechkin trying to get a little bit of commotion in front of Victor Foss.
3-1 here for Washington. Top of the screen, you're going to see some scores. Face-off soon to come to the left of Victor Foss. Shots on goal are 15-11 for the Capitals in this contest. Neither team has turned on the red light here in period 2. Niskanen back to fetch for Washington. They jam for it along the boards. Roy swivels away from the pressure. Ferentz with a long drive that goes wide of Braden Holtby. Holtby's save percentage last 7 games at home, including the Winter Classic, better than 95. They jam for it. Yakupov comes out of there, kicked it loose, and the Capitals will stride through center. Brouwer leading the thrust. On for Kuznetsov. Evgeny Kuznetsov to the slot. Roy moves it away. Petrie gets up into the flow pretty quickly himself. 5-on-5 play continues. A shade more than 7 minutes to play in the second period. Take away Purcell. Down low Fraser. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that. Anton Lander, Swedish-born center, wears 51 in white. Offers it for Fraser. Long snapshot. That's routine for Braden Holtby. Craig, on the Toyota League leaderboard, these are goalies who rarely miss a match.
There's only one that has more, and that's Corey Schneider. The Devils got a big win in Los Angeles last night. Lettman right behind Holtby. Quick, Rinne, Anderson, Raff. That is some group of goaltenders, and Holtby sits second with 40 appearances this season.
Braden Holtby, second best in the NHL when it comes to overall minutes played. Barry Trotz says it's just in his DNA to perform like this and so often. He's given the night off in Dallas. The Capitals fell to the Stars. Schultz sprinkles this one behind the net. Carlson keeps it moving. Fair, after the good work from Leik, forged it ahead. Fair and Schultz arm in arm to the boards. There's Ward lurking. Joel Ward on the feed. Orpik on the back pedal. Leik hovering against Klefbom. Put an arm into him. Leik shortens up, goes one hand on the stick, but the pass back will force Brooks Orpik to rewind. 6:20 separating us from Lattice's intermission live. Caps already with 2 tallies from Alex Ovechkin and the Jay Beagle strike. A 3-1 lead over the Oilers, who have a salvo from Derek Roy.
Capitals very good in the neutral zone, especially tonight. I love the way they control the puck. They're not just dumping it in with no chance of retrieval.
Orpik with some thunder there that hit the glass.
They're making good plays. They're rewinding. They're utilizing the defense so they can now swing and come with speed. That sets up the forecheck, because when you dump it in, you got legs to go after it.
Wilson guides it for Beagle. Then Chimera. First 5 seasons for Jason as a pro in the Oilers system. The Edmonton native playing catch with Beagle. Works out of the corner from the cycle. Top side, Alsner, rink wide, Niskanen. Knocked down and wide of the cage. Wilson for Chimera. Then Beagle, another good shift for this trio. Chimera waits to the front off the boot of Klefbom. Beagle in hot pursuit. Fraser is there. Matt Fraser for Edmonton didn't get it out. This great shift continues. Niskanen fires. Now will this group get rewarded? Chimera. Niskanen drive. A stick save for Foss. Alsner gets into the act. Wilson covering up. Finally coughed it up, and Purcell will exit the zone. On the head man for Lander. Anton Lander right to the cooker. Pad save Holtby. His best of the game. There's a penalty coming here.
Lander, a real good net drive, going to drop penalty against the Caps. Edmonton will have a power play when we return, Joe B.
Blocker 4 minutes, 49 seconds to go in the second period. Lander getting the jump on Wilson late in his shift. Edmonton goes a man up. Caps lead by 2. They lose Tom Wilson for 2 minutes for hooking. We had McDonald's trivia earlier for you. Who holds the Oilers record for most goals by a rookie?
I'm going with Yari Curry, Joe B. That's my answer.
I second the motion. Either that or Ryan Smith. Ow, you dog.
Oh, my.
Dog.
Darn. Darn, darn, darn.
Darn it. Arn
Yeah.
it. Darn it. Arn it. I knew that, too.
You did?
Yeah, well, now that I see it, I know it.
Most goals as a rookie, huh?
Yeah.
Darn. That was for sure Yari Curry.
Power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. For that, we are sure. Edmonton a man up, trailing by 2. Nugent Hopkins, Nikitin, Hall, all on the exterior. Good read there. Brooks Leik deflecting it all the way back to Victor Foss. No scoring in this second period to this point. It was a 3-1 Washington lead after 20. Nikitin gaining ground through center. Nikitin did not waltz through Orpik. Taylor Hall on this side. It's delayed offside. Quick tag up, though, and the Oilers are okay offensively. It's Hall. Maneuvering back for Nikitin. Switch it up to Eberle. Orpik comes a running after him. Brooks will clear. Brooks to Brooks on down. Caps change the penalty killers. Fast in a long stretch. This should be icing against Edmonton. It is.
Well, that was
Caps. They'll receive letters. Looking after Derek Roy. As Roy speeds through neutral ice. Lander slicing between defenders. Point position at Schultz. This way to Purcell. Yakupov in the high slot. Lander, softer pass, swing and a miss for Roy. This Oiler power play unit has PPGs in 4 of its last 6 games.
Yeah, they can really move it around, and once they get set up, that's when they're most effective. You got to take that away, and you've got to really pressure like the Caps are, and don't let them set up. Once they set up, they're highly skilled.
Touch wood, a mere 10% effective on the road this season.
Yeah, them in Buffalo really don't have much touch when it comes to the power play.
3 minutes to go. Second period. Wilson will be let loose in 7 seconds. Caps penalty minute leader as Purcell will swing. The Oilers did not muster a shot on Braden Holtby during the power play. Good news for Caps fans and the penalty killers. Brooks Orpik is there, turns it on for Carlson. He keeps it moving. Back through center comes Joel Ward 3-on-3. Chimera darting to the front. Tip in, try. Foss the save.
Yeah, he came across, and everybody talks about having a tight goaltender, being tight with the body, bringing the arms into the body, and not allowing leaky goals. Foss did that moving from left to right. Real nice save on that redirection, Jason.
Capitals goalie coach Mitch Moore uses mini pucks to help the goalies with that. As Ovechkin fans there on the snapshot. Foss was stepping out on the angle. If you can squeeze together and avoid letting those miniature pucks through, the regular size one should look like a beach ball. Burakovsky sent it wide. So maybe I exaggerate.
Oh, that's a goalie saying.
I wish it looked like a beach ball.
Yeah, when they look like beach balls, you're in a zone. You're going to stop everything that you face that night.
Point position, Green. Cross rink. Good snare, though, by Petrie before Ovechkin could pull the trigger. 3-on-3 the other way. Eberle hooks off. Gordon Eberle, who works out in the offseason with this man, Mike Green. Mike knows Eberle's abilities extremely well. Those two are often together with Doug Crashley. Crash conditioning. A lot of NHLers work in that camp. Fair goes round and round. Nugent Hopkins is there. It is Ward who will go the other way. Brooks Light jetting between defenders. Light takes it all the way to the boards with 65 seconds separating us from Lattice's intermission line. Ward for Fair. Fair, sharp angle, tries to tuck it. Fox was waiting.
And that's where he's been scoring a lot of his goals. That's what we highlighted in our open tonight. Eric Fair has been very good getting the puck and taking it to the net. He's got a lot of courage on his net drives using his size and reach.
2-on-1, Hall and Nugent Hopkins. Hall for Nugent Hopkins. Great save by Braden Holtby.
And he made that look easy, and that was spectacular. Goaltenders have to read the play. He read it like he knew it was coming before it happened. He's in the zone. That is a game saver right there for Braden and the Caps.
Oilers with another threat in the final minute of this period. Yakupov on the feed. Schultz's backhand was blunted. Caps up to counterattack. Schultz, though, so swift to get back into the lane.
I love his open pivots. He's able to move. You know, when you're an elite skater, you move, you open pivot. The Caps are going to take a penalty here.
Derek Roy down and ailing after the open ice hit.
Niskanen will be heading off. The referees are going to come over and call Niskanen. Derek Roy, the veteran forward, is down, being helped off. It's going to be a kneeing call against Matt Niskanen, who stepped up on Derek Roy. Here it is, trying to step to the middle. Left knee on knee right there. There he catapults over Niskanen's knee. Niskanen off to the box here, late stage of the second. That save by Holtby, Joe. The fake, the pass, a beauty. And look at him read and come across. And look at how quickly he went to the splits. Great save late here in the second.
Went to the splits locker and then still, though, stayed squared up. Kept all of his gear looking forward, covering as much surface area as possible. Braden Holtby feeling good in the cage for Washington tonight. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Third man advantage for Edmonton on the night. 5 seconds left. Big drive score. A rocket from the Edmonton on the night. 3-2.
Chip shot.
Score at 1956. His second goal in as many games against Washington. Both of them on the power play against Braden Holtby. It's a 3-2 Caps advantage after two. Oilers filing off to the dressing room. Washington following suit as we head for Lattice's Intermission Live. Al Coker with a guest, highlights and stats, and a 40th anniversary look at a former Cap who's in the building tonight at Hendricks, present-day Edmonton Oilers. We are done with 20 minutes to go, and Washington clings to the one-goal advantage. Chick Hernandez, Brian Mitchell with his Sports Talk Live preview. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey has been brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Mazda, conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. Mercedes-Benz of Arlington and Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. Throwback from the Virginia Lottery. Which decade are you throwing back to? And by Jeep.
YouTube video for Jeep.com. Slider at 1 hour, 6 minutes, 51 seconds of 1 hour, 50.
Here in the nation's capital, a very pleasant Tuesday night so far for the Washington Capitals, who are entertaining the Edmonton Oilers. It's a 3-2 advantage for the Caps through 40 minutes. Earlier this evening on Twitter, hashtag Capitals Talk, how would you change the All-Star Weekend? Or do you like it the way it is? The answers are starting to roll in.
Yeah, let's take a look. Outdoor game. Not a bad idea. Why not add an outdoor game? Alumni game, and winner of the All-Star game gets home ice in the finals.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's expensive. North America against the world. They want to change the format. Old Eastern versus Western Conference. And then there's that home ice advantage again.
Yeah. 3 versus 3 for all-star games. 2 forwards and 1 D.
So the home ice taking the lead from what? Would that be Major League Baseball with the World Series?
Yes, it is.
Coaches should be able to add players. Let the fans design the unis.
Hardest hitter challenge.
Yeah, the general managers are going to love that.
Yeah.
I want my guy in the hardest hitter challenge.
Volume at maximum.
Thank you again for your responses. Hashtag Capitals Talk. 3-2 Washington over Edmonton as the two teams are back to the playing surface. Thompson Creek with this window of opportunity. We're revisiting the scoring prowess of Andrew.
It started in his first game against Montreal. He whips one home past the catching glove and then bumps into the glass. Here on the power play against the Devils, rips one short side. So you know he's a shooter. He's crafty. That one against the Hawks. Crawford was a thing of beauty in the Windy City. And then last game, found the bouncing puck and didn't waste any time letting her fly. 4 and 6 shots from the young guy playing top line with Ovechkin and Backstrom.
He turns 20 in February. He had huge numbers with Erie last year in the Ontario Hockey League. That was where Connor McDavid was running wild. And so many people in Edmonton are talking about dishonor for Connor, or as Ben Raby of the Caps Radio Network put it, slack for Jack Eichel. I hate it when teams tank. They're not insisting that in any way, insinuating that either.
They both love to have that guy. The Edmonton Oilers, look at all their first overall picks, just about this whole line. They're all first rounders, 2 of them first picks overall.
Face off to start this third period. Edmonton with a goal at 19:56 in period 2. Nicky Nikitin with a high rising slap shot on the power play. Look at this. Fox turns it over. Capitals almost got a gift in the first 10 seconds. Everly sprints back through center on the hand for Taylor Hall. Number 1 overall back in 2010.
Complimentary.
To Nugent Hopkins, number 1 overall in 2011.
2 goals.
Shoulder to shoulder there with Ward. 6 players in the quarrel. Point position for Schultz.
2 Washington Capitals. Untitled video.
Everly to the defender, and it bounced over his blade, delayed offside against the Oilers. If you're just tuning in with us, Alex Ovechkin a pair in the first period. Jay Beagle had the other one for Washington. Derek Roy, who was injured in the second frame, and Nikki Nikitin on the board for the Oilers.
Now the Oilers were talking first-round picks. They've had a lot of them because of where they have finished in the National. Taylor, hockey player, on display here tonight.
You're right. They are so young.
They are.
They've all had 3 or 4 years in the show. Bain fires a long stop there for Braden Holtby. And Yakupov just turned, 21 in October. He's a third-year pro.
Yeah, the Edmonton fans, though, want to get back to the glory days, Joe. They want a winner, and they're, going to be having, I think in the near future, if not next year or the year after, they have that new stadium, right? The new arena opening up in downtown Edmonton, so they're excited about that. But winning is something that Edmonton Oilers have prided themselves since they won all those Stanley Cups. They want to get back to winning, not just being young.
5 times a Stanley Cup champion for Edmonton, the last of which came in 1990. A Tuesday night in D.C., a 3-2 lead for Washington and Carl Alsner as he sends out Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Marcus Johansson golfs at it. Awaiting Petrie there for the Oilers. The captain, Andrew Ferris. 2 minutes down in period 3. Petrie failed to clear. Johansson knocked it down with his glove. There's Anton Lander looking for some breathing room. Good lift check supplied by Johansson. Brouwer to the slot, deflected away from Kuznetsov by Ferris. Oilers through center, 5-on-5. Each team with a power play marker tonight. Lander to the deep slot, the backhand chance on its way towards the goal. Hard hitting in the corner. Yevgeny Kuznetsov will open up with it for Washington. Hillen strides to center, and he'll casually roll it into the corner. Barry Trotz, Lane Lambert, Todd Reardon, Lane Forsythe all want the line change for Washington. This is Klinkhammer on the dump ahead. Funny bounce off the glass. Works out well for Edmonton. Left bomb turning wide. Alsner shoves his fellow defender to the boards. There's a penalty call coming up. Foss sprints to the bench. That means Edmonton power play.
It's going to be a roughing call. There you see the referee give that signal. Barry Trotz looks on here, so big penalty kill up coming up to start this third period.
Washington minor penalty number 2, roughing.
And Niskanen took that trip or that knee late in that second period. Now he's off early here in the third, right in front of the goaltender, Braden Holtby, working over their man in front, Klinkhammer, and gives him a little shot to the back of the head. All right. Shot easily picked up by the referee. Niskanen to the box, roughing.
Nugent Hopkins, Gordon, Everly, Schultz, and Hall 5 on ice. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Taylor Hall doesn't choose the wrist shot there as Ward shades him. Everly winds and fires. Pad save, Holtby. Rebound Hall, and a blocker stop for Braden to boot. Hall captures the rebound. Plays it on top for Schultz. Switch it up for Everly. It bounced over his blade. Schultz will run the point. Hall closing. Fires. That's blocked as Gordon was setting the screen. Orpik looking to clear. Didn't get it out. Boyd Gordon plays it back on top. Schultz all the way out wide for Hall. 80 seconds in the man advantage for Edmonton. A chance to tie here. Hall. Skip a man. Everly. Back to Hall. Bump set Schultz. Everly once more. Good work by Washington. Schultz fires. That's blocked in front. Chimera to the loose biscuit. Carlson will clear.
Yeah, just about a minute of zone time for the Edmonton Oilers' number 1 power play. Really didn't generate much in front of Braden Holtby. Everything to the exterior.
50 seconds left in the minor to Niskanen. Roy hauls it ahead, then goes to the front of the goal. Caps pouncing on it there. That's Alsner to clear. Victor Foss in the cage for Edmonton tonight. He's made a total of 16 stops. Caps victimized him 3 times in the first. Nothing since. Purcell walks the gut there. Stick check by Alsner. And Green will hammer it down. Foss stretching it out for Lander. Anton Lander zooms between defenders. Fancy feed for Yakupov. Long wrister deflected away by Carlson. There's Purcell to the corner. Roy once more. Lander to the front. Nikitin, who had the last Edmonton goal late in period 2. Yakupov for Nikitin. Purcell Clicks one to the front, arm to side. Rebound at the short side there for Yakupov as he was twisted up with Niskanen. We're back to 5-on-5. Long glass in the point position. Wide of the goal from Petrie. 14:40 left in regulation time. Caps back to a level playing field, but they did not clear.
Man, that wasn't clean coming out. And trying to throw it up the middle was Carlson. You got to throw it up the wall. Keep it out of the middle, or you've got to elevate it. Just about cost the Caps.
Niskanen unscathed after his penalty here in the third will clear in. Foss will start the breakout with the help from Petrie. Up the board for Klinkhammer, neutralized by Hillen. This turns out to be icing against Edmonton. Locker, your voice on value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting. What was it again?
It was all about a good start for Alex Ovechkin and his team, a super start. They had one. I thought they dominated that first period. Got the lead. They're holding on right now at 3-2. But they scored first, which is a positive. They had a good first period. And that sort of led into this game that we're going to have, which is a one-goal game once again.
Ovechkin 4 times the winner of the NHL's Rocket Richard Award for most goals in a single season. Alex's totals now up to 27 and counting. Petrie back through center. As Hillen spots the turning Backstrom.
And that's quite an accomplishment. Alex, if he can get and win it 5 times, he'll join just 6 other guys that have accomplished that feat in National Hockey League history.
Burakovsky digging in. Ferentz knocks him down. Those 5 other guys, I'm sure, be good players.
Yeah.
Burakovsky waiting. Carlson unloads. He scores! Burakovsky waiting. Carlson unloads. He scores!
To Washington. To NHL January. Cross keyboard shortcut.
What a goal! It was a high bomb from the point by Carlson, but in front of the net, it may be Nick Backstrom that it clips off his stick in front. Here comes a shot. Look at Nick Backstrom net presence, and there's a deflection. And the Edmonton Oilers were asking for a review. You could hear them pointing at the referee, but here comes a shot. Again, the determining factor is the crossbar, not even close. Nick Backstrom on the board here, his 15th goal of the season, giving the Caps a 2-goal lead.
Time of the tally, 6:38. Carlson gets the primary assist. Backstrom, who picked up NHL point number 500 against Edmonton back in October, has tallied here to give Washington a 2-goal lead. Referee Dan O'Rourke is checking at the timekeeper's bench to see whether or not the video review room in Toronto wishes to discuss, and they do.
It won't take long. It will be Nick Backstrom's goal, and the Caps will have a 2-goal lead.
The call on the ice was a
absolute no chance net, but for any goaltender, great job by Backstrom getting to that paint area.
Chimera's speed intended for Tom Wilson. He's shoulder to shoulder with a young defender, Oscar Klefbom. Help comes from Schultz. For the Capitals, 7 minutes into the third period, have a 2-goal lead back. Oilers busting out there quickly. Pouliot and Roy. Pouliot angles in. The trailers here. Yakupov, it's kicked away. A penalty call coming up against Washington. The holding call sets Washington a man down. Back with the Edmonton power play in a few moments. Backstrom has given his boys a little bit of breathing room on CSN. Game summary brought to you by 9 Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Alex Ovechkin, white hot right now.
Yeah, 26 and 27 goals. Jay Beagle, his 7th goal of the season. That was in the first period at 17:34 for the Caps on a real nice play in front of the net. Nikita Nikitin, 3rd goal of the season. 2nd versus the Capitals as he pounded it from the blue line off a play off the faceoff.
More penalty-killing chores for the Washington Capitals. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Al Koken's been your ringside reporter tonight. We tip our cap to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts day and night here at Verizon Center. Power play stats packaged by the UPS store, and a handful of power play chances now for the Oilers in white. Schultz, long wrister. Hope he got a little piece of that on the way by. Eberle's centering pass comes all the way through to force Edmonton to reorganize. Just a little bit more than 12 minutes with which to work in the third. Nicholas Backstrom, a tip-in tally here in period 3, giving the Caps a little bit of breathing room. Hall to point position. It'll get away from Schultz as Fair works him over. Fair bothers him still, rolls it to the goal, vacuumed up by Foss, and he held on long enough for the whistle.
And he's going to talk to the referee about that. He didn't like the whistle. He wanted to quickly get up ice on that play. Eric Fair, always hustling, especially on the PK. Look at Beagle and him. Pressuring the D, just getting all over the puck. Not only Fair, but look at Beagle join the rush. Right side of the screen. Foss tries to get it away in a hurry, but the whistle already goes.
Fair, who's already passed last year's goal totals, as you can tell, with those 14 now. 10 of the 14 away from Verizon Center, including his recent strike at American Airlines Center, the hangar in Dallas.
But he scores outdoors.
Yes, he does. Niskanen bumping into Yakupov down low. Yakupov's feed to the front. Mike Green was there, and he'll casually play it clear. Alls are in the penalty box another 44 seconds. Shots on goal at 21 apiece. Purcell. Long time a scourge against Washington as Beagle makes the intercept. Purcell, during his days in Tampa Bay, seemingly hurt the Caps on every occasion. Great work by Beagle, being saluted by the fans. Tying up 3 Oilers in the process. Nicely done by the Calgary native.
Yeah, absolutely no zone time for the Edmonton Oilers. Only about 30 seconds so far in this 2-minute power play. The Caps just not giving up any room to work their power play.
John Carlson makes the swipe, plays it around the boards and out. No shots on the Edmonton power play as Alder set free. Yakupov will track this down, nearing the midway mark of the third. Capitals and Oilers go to the All-Star break after this one. Turnover here. Backstrom snapped it high. After the break, the Caps and the Columbus Blue Jackets a week from tonight will have it for you on Comcast Sportsnet. Green to the outside for Backstrom. Green fakes the blast. Tip-in try for Ovechkin, answered by the defender Klefbom. These Oilers, they have a home date with Minnesota waiting for them a week from tonight. On the other side of the All-Star break, those festivities unfurling in Columbus, Ohio this weekend. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will represent Edmonton. Alex Ovechkin leading the cheers for Washington.
I thought Backstrom was going.
I wanted him to.
He should be going.
Yes. Eberle on the feed. Collar there by Backstrom, and Eberle stays down. Light for Washington. Put that one on the shin pads of Petrie. Get the whistle here. A hand pass against Washington as Eberle fights off the sting. Down he goes. Washington a 4-2 advantage. With more on CSN.
Up 2 at 4-2. You heard Joe and Craig mention that Edmonton coach Todd Nelson was a one-time Washington Capital farmhand playing in Portland for Barry Trotz. He was a defenseman. Yesterday I asked Barry Trotz, what kind of player was he? He said he was a little like Sylvain Cote, that he could do a little bit of everything. He said, but what always stood out to him about Todd Nelson was the fact that he always asked questions that were about making the team better. He was always a team-first guy, and it was all the way back then. And those questions that he would ask, that Barry Trotz said, I thought one day he would make a good coach, and so far it's been a good start in his career at Edmonton, of course, with the good success he had in the minors in Oklahoma City.
As Holtby makes a couple of stops, Barry went on to say that he thought someone like Matt Hendricks would be a very good head coach in the future.
Yeah, comes in with a 4-7-4 record. Remember that team, that 94 Calder Cup team? That was pretty impressive. You know, you have him, you have his brother who led the team, right? Jeff Nelson, 107 points. You had some big-time guys playing like Kolzig, Defoe, Jason Allison. They had a heck of a hockey team. Kevin Killer Kaminsky, the other Bruce brothers, Clark, Wendell Clark's brothers, Carey, and obviously Kolzig really carried in the playoffs. At the time, it was Beaupre and Tabaracci that minded the cage up here.
Klinkhammer with speed. He was taken down. Guess what? Edmonton's going on the power play again. It has been a parade in the penalty box for Washington, and the fans don't like it.
A little bit of pushing and shoving in front of the net. But the Caps will go shorthanded once again. Klinkhammer showing some speed up that left side there, trying to get to the cage. And here you'll see the trip. Right here, just a little bit of a push. I don't think that's a penalty whatsoever. I don't know why it's called, but it's going to be Beagle heading to the box. And he can't believe it. He's going to the bench. I would be in disbelief, too, if I'm Jay Beagle. I thought that was a good defensive play by Jay Beagle. Definitely not a trip in my book. That's a questionable call here in the third period.
It's not a popular one.
No, it shouldn't be.
Referee Dan O'Rourke.
It's not a trip. He was off balance. You get a little push in the leg, Joe. It's not a tripping call.
I think Barry Trotz just saw it overhead and said, maybe not. These power play stats, they're packaged by the UPS store. So this is man advantage number 6 for Edmonton, which came in at 13.9% effective this season. They have a power play goal tonight from Nikki Nikitin. It's a 4-2 game with 8.5 to go. Taylor Hall to the slot for Nugent Hopkins. He's the playmaker. He's the distributor. Rotation play. Sliding Orpik there to intercept. Schultz feeds. Long drive, and Holtby has that secured on a bullet from Everly. It's decent. You have the date on your favorite. I thought you already did.
I did.
Hall waits to the front. Deflection try from Nugent Hopkins.
You know I never would do that.
Oh, no. You
questioned the call. It was a questionable call, that's all. It's a statement of fact.
Or an opinion. Nugent Hopkins.
I'm up here for my opinion.
Carving back to center. Yes. Yes, you are.
You just keep me under control.
I try. Schultz will turn. It's about halfway through this power play. Thank goodness. Edmonton hasn't mustered much on the man advantage in their last few opportunities. Knock on wood. Everly for Schultz.
A little different than Gretzky, Messier, and Curry, isn't it?
Maybe. Nugent Hopkins settles. Point position. Schultz. Then Everly. Schultz straight away. Everly won't pull the trigger yet. Nugent Hopkins, ditto. Too much passing. Brooks Laich says thanks, but he doesn't get it out. A diving Ward does. Laich now streaming into the rush. Brooks Laich working in one-on-one. Great move. Better save there by Fox.
I love offside wingers cutting into the middle. It gives you the forehand. Brooks Laich backhand, forehand. Real good shot testing Fox shorthanded.
19 seconds left in the sentence on Beagle. Snapshot coming from Yakupov didn't get through, and Niskanen will clear. Nikki Nikitin winds it up. One final thrust for Edmonton on the man advantage. Fair with a long reach at center, causing a commotion. One shot during the advantage for Edmonton. 6.5 to go. The Caps on top by 2. Behind the play, an Oiler down on the deck. There's a whistle here as we wait for you.
It's 1-on-1.
Yakupov, the latest Oiler to be tended to at the bench for Edmonton.
5 shots.
Yakupov, the latest Oiler to be tended to at the bench for Edmonton. Everly preceded him. Wilson stacks up Boyd Gordon. Cleared in. Holtby leaves for the turning stick of Mike Green. Last time we saw the Oilers, it was Matt Hendricks dropping the glove with Liam O'Brien in October at Rexall. No dance partners tonight. Chimera.
Washington Capitals.
Rister on the way, glove down by Bain.
Washington Capitals, 2017.
Nikitin bumped to the boards by Beagle.
Washington
5-on-5
Washington
play,
Capitals.
5:48 to go in the third period. Holtby going to get into the act.
Heading level 3.
Head on the board,
Washington
trying
Capitals
to get through to
2017
either
goal by
Chimera
fans
or
4-1-3.
Wilson. Karen to the waiting
From the
Oilers
Netherlands.
bench.
And again tonight, a lot of power plays against the Caps 6. Remember in Dallas, Joe, Dallas had 5 power plays. In the last 12 games, the Caps have been on the penalty kill with 5 or more penalties against them 5 times in the last 12 games. They got to stay out of the box.
Be more disciplined, in the words of their coaching staff. Pouliot, who's been held in check tonight, he came in with goals in 4 of his last 5, 67 in the white, lurking in the slot now. Roy forced it back to point position, helped there by Alter, further still. At the line, Ovechkin's in ahead of the play. It's offside.
Back on CS.
They're trailing homestanding relies. This is an Edmonton by a 2 spot with 4:50 to go in regulation time. Giving the Caps as the Oilers a bit of a push. Goal in this third period. As the Oilers get set to make a break for it with Eberle. Twisting Hall around with that pass. Eberle will turn. Barry Trotz in the middle of a shift change. Schultz in no hurry. Justin Schultz, an All-American out of the University of Wisconsin. Lander working in. Anton Lander in his 4th season here in North America. Backstrom defensively. Purcell from the angle. Bullseye. Purcell with a snapshot upstairs.
No, you mentioned about him being a thorn in the side of the Caps over his time in Tampa Bay. Hit by Fraser.
Nailed by Newfoundland.
No time.
It's his first goal of this month. 15:49, the time of the Edmonton marker. And it's nail-biting time again at 4-3. This is cleared on down by Niskanen. Icing is washed out. 8 of the last 10 Washington games have been 1-goal decisions. 1 goal separating them from the Oilers right now as Holtby makes the stick stop and reels it in for the cover-up. Weekend, CSEM.
Great one now to have the All-Star game. Matty Hendricks, fan of the
looking on last outing. Go.
With the Caps and just
didn't get that one. Orpik peppers this one on around us. It's Minnesota on the board for the Red Bulls. Orpik pep 26-22. This period, as you can tell, bottom of the screen, Edmonton has had the upper hand in that category. John Carlson leading the league in the month of January in terms of blocked shots, able to play clear. This will dribble wide of Holtby. He wanted the icing. The linesmen disagree. Todd Nelson changing the Oilers on the go. Niskanen driving back through center, and he'll clear in. Chimera is the first to it. Beagle helping out. Jay had his 7th goal of the season back in the first period. The same frame in which Ovechkin tallied twice. 2:35 left in the third. Stalemate in the corner. Rob Carlin and Alan May with Caps Postgame Live, presented by your DC area Acura dealers. That will follow us on CSN. Niskanen choosing Alsner. He was crowded quickly by Yakupov. We'll keep our eyes on Victor Foss, see when Nelson will lift him for the extra attacker, with the Oilers trailing by 2 on the road. This is punched ahead legally in the D zone to Chimera, and he'll just roll it into the corner. 5 fresh folks on ice for Washington. Barrett skipping back through center, goes wing to wing for Eberle. Nugent Hopkins turns the outside as the Oilers get a 6th attacker on. Fox is on the bench. The empty net awaiting Washington. Hall bullying his way along the boards. Eberle to point position. Move it for Schultz. Long slap shot coming from Purcell. Stick save Holtby, and he'll cover.
Think up.
Oilers at room our Caps.
Games amazing in the NHL.
Their right goal lead team. 1. This drop shy for Edgo. I said it was a 2-goal. Boyd Gordon on the
real good face-off. It was well.
Face-off possession belongs to the outside the Hall. They score! This game is by Ward. Capitals. Seconds to go with the NHL on Comcast.
Player. 12th goal of the season.
Sprinter. Target for Light. Using the net well there. Driving back through center. Scuttles it into the corner. Fox will roam. Barrett's turn. 20 seconds left. Hall floats it clean. John Carlson will gather in for Washington. 14 seconds to go. Orpik. Another 20 scuttles it into the corner. Fox will roam. Ferentz turns. 20 seconds left. Hall floats it clean. John Carlson will gather in for Washington. 14 seconds to go. Orpik. On target for Light. Brooks Light working wide. Throws a stiff arm out. One hands it to the slot. Loose there for Fair. And Fox will cover.
And Ferentz puts it
to play this period. And New going to overtime will require the shootout is presented by
finishing up their road trip. They finished off strong. They got some momentum probably last game, breaking that long drought on the road. They battled hard against Barry Trotzy's Bucks. I thought the game could have been over at 4-2, but they battled back last game, breaking that long drought on the road. They battled hard against Barry last game, breaking that long drought on the road. They battled hard against Barry Trotzy's Bucks. I thought the game could have been over at 4-2, but they battled back to get at least the game could have been over at road. They battled hard against Barry. They're finishing up their road trip. They finished off strong. They got some momentum probably last game, breaking that trip. They finished off strong. They got some momentum probably last game to get at least